Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your day.
We're hoping to learn more about an incident that brought police to Western Sioux Falls last night. Our KELOLAND news crew was able to capture this video from the area of 12th and Kiwanis. The Sioux Falls Police SWAT team was on scene.
We are hoping to learn more at this morning's police briefing. You can watch it live right here on KELOLAND.com starting at 10:30. Investigators in Minnehaha County are looking into what set off a house explosion that left one person dead and sent two others to the hospital. Crews were called to the scene south of Humboldt just after 7 o'clock yesterday morning.
A neighbor a mile away from the home reported to KELOLAND News that they were rocked out of bed shortly after 5 a.m. Minnehaha County Sheriff Mike Milstead says the explosion could be heard almost 20 miles away. Wednesday's house explosion was the fifth one we reported on in this year in South Dakota. In February, a car crashed into a Rapid City home, causing a gas leak and explosion. The driver died and 3 families lost their homes.
Heavy snow on gas meters led to house explosions in Madison and Lake Madison. And in May, an explosion flattened a home southeast of Fort Pierre, killing 3 people. Investigators say liquefied petroleum gas made its way into the basement of the home. They aren't sure what sparked the explosion, but they are confident it was not suspicious.
Now let's get a check of our weather with meteorologist Scott Munt. Back with some warmer temps today, Scott?
Warmer temperatures today, less wind, cover eastern KELOLAND. We'll have temperatures in the 60s and 70s this afternoon, starting with some cloud cover in parts of eastern KELOLAND. We'll eventually see some sunshine. 68 are high in Sioux Falls, 66 Aberdeen, 73 in Pierre, and 74 in Rapid City. The weekend's looking dry, warm, though a little cooler than what's expected for today and tomorrow. We'll have numbers probably in the 60s for highs, both Saturday and Sunday. And then as we go through the week next week, expect colder temperatures to arrive. More details on your forecast with Brian coming up.
Thank you, Scott. Frustration is growing among Republican U.S. House members as Ohio Representative Jim Jordan failed to win enough votes to secure the position of Speaker of the House. 22 Republicans voted against elevating Jordan to the powerful position.
We spoke with South Dakota's lone representative, Dusty Johnson, who is supporting Jordan about what's going on in the House.
So we really do have work we've got to get done. We have an ally at war, a southern border in crisis, and a government that we cannot allow to shut down in 30 days. It is up to us, the big boys and big girls of the House, to get our act together, get a speaker, open it back up, and get to work.
Johnson was one of the 199 House members to vote for Jim Jordan for Speaker. The city of Madison received a surprise visit from a mountain lion late Tuesday evening. The cougar was spotted roaming around north of the downtown area by the Lake County Sheriff's Office security cameras.
Jessica Evans owns a shop a block away on Main Street. She said seeing a mountain lion in town is alarming.
Puts us a little more on alert, and I would assume that there's going to be people who maybe are gonna just steer clear until they know that it's been found and not around downtown anymore.
KELOLAND's Renee Ortiz also spoke to a resident who received a visit from the feline. You can find that with this story right here on KELOLAND.com. And the traditional pheasant opener is days away in South Dakota.
Hunters harvested nearly 1.2 million pheasants last season. And based on spring and summer weather conditions, early counts, and reports from last weekend's resident-only hunt, Game Fish and Parks expects that number to grow this fall. They're also reminding hunters to recreate with respect.
We still have quite a bit of crops out in the field. Being mindful that 80% of South Dakota is privately owned, so not blocking approaches, being mindful of where you park on a hill, that we're going to be sharing the road with agriculture equipment this time of year.
The traditional pheasant opener in South Dakota is Saturday with daily shooting hours of 10 a.m. Central Time until sunset. Season closes January 31st.
That's a look at some of our top stories.
Now let's get one last look at your weather with meteorologist Brian Karstens. Brian?
All right, our weather forecast for today. We are looking at fair skies this afternoon. That system from yesterday is pushing off to our east. We are expecting a cold front to arrive tomorrow, but really the weather ahead of that should really warm up nicely. A lot of 70s out there, and the wind will pick up out of the northwest as that feature comes through. Really, though, the chance of rain is next to nothing or very limited. So I would say at this point, just a cool down for Saturday. What does that mean? Well, probably northeast South Dakota. We'll have upper 50s for highs, 60s in the south, and we'll see similar readings as we get into Sunday. At this point, the rain chances may start to pick up a little bit here. Nebraska, Iowa, there's kind of a return flow coming up from the south, and then we'll kind of watch some of these lead pieces ahead of that big trough in the west, and that'll start to come out, and that'll start to get more attention next week. One little point that we brought up here on the weather, there's some tropical moisture to our south. There's a hurricane, Norma. That feature over the next few days will eventually lift to the north, and there will be a system in California that'll scoop it up. And what that'll do is it'll put down a pretty good plume of moisture from New Mexico. Eventually, there's a high probability this is going to affect Kansas into Iowa. As far as we're concerned, we're not locked in on much of that yet. We'll keep an eye on it just in case this changes. But more importantly, there's a pretty substantial trough to our north. In fact, a couple of different rounds of low pressure. And this air to the north is getting colder. So you can imagine you're going to hear talk and rumors about snow in the forecast. And yes, there is some merit to that in parts of southern Canada into the northern plains. How much of that affects KELOLAND, we shall see. But it certainly is a different configuration to the pattern, and one that's definitely more conducive to supporting some systems, if you will. So we're getting to that time of year. We got to kind of consider that. Well, let's finish things up. Our forecast highs today, a lot of 60s east, 70s central and west. And the 7-day forecast, it looks like highs are in the 60s until at least Tuesday. We'll monitor any of those initial rain chances, but I do think at this point those are probably more of the scattered variety. We're not quite tapped in any significant storm tracks at this point. But I would say for Aberdeen, too, the tendency is to start to reduce the temperature potential. And at some point, there will be substantially colder weather. Whether or not that incorporates much of any snow talk, we'll see. But yeah, reductions on temperatures, I think we have to think that direction. So take advantage of the 60s and 70s. They'll feel pretty good. Here in central South Dakota, those 60s are out there for the weekend. Should be very nice for pheasant season. And it looks like Rapid City also in the 60s for Saturday and Sunday. Check out the latest details online at KELOLAND.com.